December 9th, 2022. It's Friday, baby. And today's happy hour. 4 o'clock Central Time on Litecoin Lisa's YouTube channel. Check it out. Get in the live chat. We have fun. I have a few beers. Well, I don't know if I'll have a few beers. Might have some bourbon. I don't know what I'm going to have today. It's kind of rainy, misty, cloudy. Kind of reminds me of England. Not that I've been there. Oh, I think it would be maybe like Scotland would be. So maybe today's a Scotch day. We'll see. I will be in the bar at 4 p.m. Central Time on Litecoin Lisa's channel for happy hour. So join us. Speaking of Litecoin Lisa, I see that last night she was on a live stream with Bix, Weir, and J-Snip 4, Snippy, OG in the crypto space, OGs. So I missed it. Well, that would have been awesome to see. I like all them. And some more than others. I won't say which order. Nah, I like them all. Love them all. But I'll have to watch that before I get on the show today with Lisa, so I'm up to speed so I can find out what's going to happen. I need some psychic predictions. I need something to guide my way. Not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. Actually, I do. Just being sarcastic, okay? But no, I love watching their shows, and that was probably a pretty good one. I wish I could have seen it live. However, I was in town for I don't even know what it was called. Kind of a Christmas walk, carriage rides at the horse, right? Walking around, you know, sign up, get a carriage ride. All the shops were open. Pretty cool. Nice night. Wasn't really rainy, just a little bit of drizzle. They were calling for rain, but it turned out nice. It's good to support the local businesses, and of course, all the things I bought, I paid with cash rather than using a card, because in case you don't know, even though you get points on those credit cards, debit cards, whatever you use, you might get points, but what you're doing is you're taking it out of the merchant's pockets, because the credit card companies, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, they all charge the vendor, or I should say the person, the merchant, the vendor, the person selling the goods, they charge them for the service of transacting on that network and making it easy, you know, so it's all done. Problem is, you know, some of these small businesses, they can be hit with, I think Johnny Litecoin, he's the guy that knows, but I think he said at some point, sometimes up to 8% per transaction. So, I mean, you're buying, you know, $50 worth of goods, and $4 of it comes right out of the pocket of the merchant. Yeah, I mean, you might get your points, but man, you're feeding a vampire system there. Yeah, it's convenient. However, the other thing is, if you use a credit card, you as the person using the credit card can ask for a chargeback. So you can say, no, that was a fraudulent, I wasn't there. I didn't make that purchase. And the credit card company will take it away from the merchant. The money, they'll take it back. They'll claw it back. And that's up to 6 months that can happen. So, I mean, taking credit cards as a business really kind of stinks. However, it's convenient. And so everybody started doing it. So my solution to that is, if you can't pay them in crypto, and they're not at that point yet to where, you know, they're willing to accept, you know, cryptocurrency, which a lot of people aren't because they don't get it, I'd rather pay them in cash. You know, and the cash I have just happens to have buy Litecoin stamped on it. I don't know. You know, I get this at the bank, and I see it at the bank coming through. I don't know where it comes from. Just happen to see it. And so I like to pay in cash. And then that way they keep all of it. Now, is that the ideal scenario? No. But is that probably the best scenario given the tools that we have to use? Yeah, kind of. And so it's better to pay your merchants and your local businesses with cash. That way they can keep it all and do what they want to do with it. Ideally, cryptocurrency at some point would be nice to be able to pay in crypto. That way there's no chargebacks. That way, you know, it's just like digital cash. They get it, it's theirs. You know, and if there's a problem, you know, if they're a good merchant, they'll make it right. And if they're not, then you don't pay them again. It's the free market. You choose. You vote with your energy. You know, everybody says vote with your dollar. Vote with your energy. Because that's all money is stored energy. Put it in a good form of energy and vote with your energy. Along the voting lines, I see that I don't even know what her first name is. Sinema, senator from Arizona, has now left the Democratic Party. So the Democrats, you know, they had a 51-49, you know, with Herschel Walker losing. They had a 51-49 Senate. Now it's going to be what, 51 to 48 plus 1, so, or no, 50, because you're taking one away. 50 to 48 plus 1. I mean, it does make a difference, I think, on the committees and how that all works out when they have that majority. I'm not, you know, I don't know. It has some effect. But, you know, if you get another one, you get another senator saying, like Manchin or something, saying, I'm going to be independent. Then they don't have a majority. And that becomes problematic. So we'll see. I mean, there's still a lot of drama left to unfold. I think Trump was supposed to testify. He said he was going to testify, I think, next week. But this is a few weeks ago, so I don't know what's changed. Who knows? It's in flux. It's fluid. Brittany Griner is now back on U.S. soil. Everybody's happy about that, I guess. I mean, oh, yay. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you travel to a foreign country, and if you're in violation of even the smallest law, you're in trouble. You know, and that's one of the things that it concerns me, because, you know, you look at the state of affairs in government, right, left, doesn't matter, and you think, is there a point where I need to have, you know, a dual citizenship, or think about going to another country because, you know, the U.S. has gotten so tyrannical? And, you know, I've thought about it in the past. My biggest issue is you're not a citizen there, first of all, unless you got dual citizenship, that's different. But you're not a citizen there, and a lot of times you don't speak the language. That's a big problem. You think about people who come over here who don't speak the language, who you have to deal with, and it's kind of frustrating. And you know right away that they're not from here. And so, I mean, you know, we tend not to be so, you know, we're not gonna, like, you know, assault somebody because they're foreign, you know. Some people do, I guess. But I mean, I guess, you know, here in the U.S., we're not as intolerant, where you get into a foreign country to where you don't fit in with the culture and you don't speak the language. You know, you may have a different religion. I mean, what's going to happen to you? What protections do you have? That's a scary thing. I think foreigners may have better protections in the U.S. than citizens do, because they're always coming after the citizens and the, you know, the property and the taxes and the rights of the citizens being infringed. So there's an argument to be made there. But anyway, if you were to leave, where would you go? You know, that's kind of scary. You know, you think you violate one rule. You think of the Mexican prisons. You know, you cross the border to Tijuana, do something wrong, and next thing you're in a Mexican prison. You know, you hear those things. But if it's that corrupt, you can usually buy your way out of it. So it's probably a good idea to have some cash on hand, have some gold or silver on hand. You know, that's how, you know, you basically money talks. And if you got sound money, you know, it's one way to get out of the situation. So anyway, yeah. The other big news is the triple-demic. I was watching this. I mean, the Twitter files is huge. They're dropping more stuff. They're showing, proving that you got to get on Twitter if you're not on Twitter. Just create a Twitter account. You don't have to do anything. I mean, just follow the news that's going on, because it's all getting dropped there. Mainstream, are they reporting on it? Probably not. You know, it's just, and so that's why it's important. I think Twitter can become that free speech platform where it is the news. You know, we are the news. We can put it out there and actually not be censored for the news. And that's what's coming out that has been happening on Twitter, is that they were censoring people, censoring big names, big organizations. Dan Bongino comes to mind. That was one of them. And they didn't call it shadow banning. They had some other wonky, fake scientific, you know, nerd term that they used. Visual infringement. I don't even know what they call it. Where they didn't allow you to come up in the feeds. You know, the algorithms would knock you down, tamp you down, and it wouldn't, the natural order of things, you know, if you were to post it and based on your followers, they would see it. But no, they actually clamped that down through software to where, you know, you weren't as relevant. And so that's censorship. I mean, it really is. And that's what they were doing, to mostly, I don't even want to say this, but, you know, I mean, mostly conservative, right-wing accounts. It's really not that. It's mostly accounts that are against the narrative. against the narrative of whatever the powers that be want it to be. And the narrative has been, for the last few years, the pandemic has been Democrats are the best party ever, and they get more votes than they've ever gotten in history and elected more people than people who think that they should have elected. I mean, it falls in the favor of kind of that wing, and it's being proven now. All the evidence is coming out. So we knew this all along. I mean, all you have to do, and again, I'm not a big Trump guy. Yeah, I voted for him. I voted for him twice. Yeah, I did twice, right? Twice, yeah. And usually I don't like picking the lesser of two evils. However, I did see some things that he was doing that were actually helping bring this country back from the abyss. Do I agree with everything he said? No. Do I like that he was out there touting, you know, everybody get pricked and, you know, went along with the pandemic and printed money into oblivion? No. Should have been on some kind of standard, monetary standard. But, you know, and then I look at it, I think, well, maybe it wasn't time yet. Maybe, you know, it was breaking the ice and, you know, it's a long rollout and we can't do it all in 4 years. Whatever. I don't know. All I know is that people aren't awake yet. Not everybody. But since he came into office, you didn't hear about deep state before that. You didn't hear about fake news before that. And that is a mainstream thing now. People actually understand that that exists. Twitter files, fake news was happening. Censorship was happening. Deep state, everybody knows there's a deep state. There is a government underneath the government that's siphoning money and creating programs that aren't good for you and me and humanity. I mean, so at least that whole process got opened up. And I think Trump was a great deal responsible for that. So I have to give him credit. Do I agree with it? Would I want to work for him? Hell no. Would I want to, could I hang with him? Maybe once. You know, it's not a, so anyway, but, you know, those, I had to look at what options were there. And I voted for him because I wanted him to break everything. I'll get in there and just tear it apart, tear it down and rebuild it. I mean, because it's so corrupt. Let's just do away with these people. But it didn't go to that. You know, lock her up. Absolutely lock her up. Did it happen? No. All right. So anyway, you know, that's where I'm at with it. But it's good to see the truth come out. I mean, that's a good thing. And hopefully it continues on Twitter. And I think that's right now, that is the platform that I see that is getting the information out there, or at least exposing it and, you know, awakening. Little rabbit came. I'm glad it was a rabbit, not something else. Whew. So it's awakening people, and it's getting the information out there and exposing what has happened. And at some point we have to say, why are we funding this whole situation? Why are we funding people in government who are colluding with private industry? Well, it's a public company, but, you know, a business. Why are we allowing this to happen, and why are we funding it? You know, where is our energy going, and why are we letting it go there? I mean, when this is all exposed, if we all woke up and realized what was going on and saw what was going on, we would pull the plug on everybody in government. We'd be done with it. So you have no more power. You're not passing any more laws. We're not obeying any of your laws. You're completely anti-constitution, and you're done. You're done. I think most people would see that, especially if you see what they're really engaged in. And it's all out there. It's just a matter of we got to slow roll the truth out, spoon feed it to people. Like, oh, did you see what happened? Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I knew about that 20 years ago. Go a little bit deeper, bro, and then you'll really be sick. But, you know, people need to be spoon-fed and drivel it out slowly, slowly, slowly. So I get it, and it's just frustrating. It's like, take responsibility for yourself and do the research and make the time. But some people, I guess, don't want to know. They don't want to know. Ignorance is bliss to them. You know, it's like they'd rather, oh, yeah, who's playing this weekend? Yeah, be partying. Let's identify and, you know, with a team. Let's identify with, you know, the colors and, you know, all those things and live in this false reality. And that they'd rather live in that. And so that's why the metaverse is probably going to be popular with a lot of people, because reality isn't good enough anymore. You know, the false reality that's out there in the reality is not enough. We just need to go into the metaverse, and then we can reinvent reality in, you know, our own image and, you know, whatever we choose, and, you know, live in the bubble, the pod with the Neuralink implant, and, you know, just become completely transhuman. You know, just merge with the machines, and, you know, we'll be able to cut your head off and maybe just take your brain out as long as it has a Neuralink, and you might still think that you're alive participating in the real world, even though it's a virtual world. And maybe that's where we're at now, and we don't even know it. Maybe we're all hooked up to machines and have a Neuralink, and what I'm not sitting in a digibug right now. Maybe it's just part of the illusion that I think is reality. I mean, imagine getting to that point where your brain still exists and thinks you're inside of the body, but you're really in a computer simulation. You know, humanity is nothing more than a bunch of server trays with lights. Now I think, well, who's managing that? And where's the power come from? And, you know, you think of all those things. Who knows? It's hard to say. But you better, you know, but the thing that gives me peace is because there's something else working inside of us, you know, some other force that, you know, that's deeper, and we catch glimpses of it. And, you know, being out in real nature helps us to activate that, and being in deep prayer, being in deep meditation, and, you know, kind of stepping back from this reality and going inside, really, is really what it is. You go inside to go outside. You know, so people misinterpret what I say when I say trust yourself. I mean, trust yourself to make the right decisions. Trust yourself to find the truth, because when you have that sense of calm, that sense of peace, and you let go, you kind of go in, but that allows you to go out because you're connecting to everything outside of you. But it's really inside of you because you're part of it, and that's where it starts. So anyway, trust yourself. Always trust yourself. Check out Happy Hour at 4 p.m. Central Time today. You know, one thing I was thinking about, to leave you on this note, are we going to be done with the gender reveal things? You know, when people are having kids and they have the gender reveal, and they, you know, it's gotten more and more dramatic, you know, used to be just pink, blue. You know, here's pink cigar wrap, you know, here's blue cigar. Used to be that. But, you know, are those days gone, gender reveal? Because we don't even know what the gender is. We think we do, but they're going to identify as whatever gender they want to as they grow older. So why are we trying to impose, you know, beliefs? Why are we blue? You're a boy, even though you got all the parts. Should we even bother to reveal the gender? Because it might not be revealed until age 12, age 18. Age, what, Bruce Jenner? Age 50s, 60s, I don't know, whatever he was, 60s. Never know. That gender reveal could happen at any time. So, all right. Love you all. Hope you have a wonderful Friday. Hope to see you on Happy Hour at 4 p.m. Central Time on Litecoin Lisa's channel. I got to go watch that live stream from last night so I can get caught up and I can have a cogent discussion with her, because she's going to be all over the place with woo-woo. So I got to get myself prepared for the woo. Usually a couple of drinks of scotch or bourbon will do that, and I'm deep in the woo, so I usually can bail myself out that way. But I'm going to try and do a little research and be prepared. All right. Have a wonderful Friday. Love you all, and always, always trust yourself. Thanks for watching.